Okay, a distortionless line. Distortionless line, a transmission line. As we saw RF and microwave frequency, we have to consider that is a line parameter, line parameters, that is LCG and R, and also secondary constant like propagation constant and characteristic impedance. Because of these primary constants and secondary constant, see like RLCG, okay, primary constant and propagation constant and characteristic impedance, they are called as the secondary constant. Because of all these parameters, there are a lot of issues on the transmission line when the signal travels over a transmission line. So when the signal travels over a transmission line, it feels like it is propagating through a network like this cascade connection of many like this symmetrical network. Okay, so because of that, there are a lot of issues are there. As we studied in the previous classes, there is a reflection if there is a mismatch. Okay, if ZL is not matched with the Z naught, then there is reflection is there that induces many problems in the transmission line. There is a waste of power, and also because of multiple reflection, there may be a chances of getting damage to the circuit also, because multiple reflection may out together and increase the voltage applied to the load, or it may be to the source, that may damage the one. So reflection coefficient, about matching and all we studied in the earlier, and also propagation constant. That propagation constant, as we studied, because of alpha and beta, there are a lot of issues are there. So because, and also velocity depends upon the phase constant beta, and alpha it is a function of frequency. Velocity is a function of frequency, and alpha is also a function of frequency. And as we know, our signals, what we are applying, that is in the that is consists of many frequencies. It may be in the order of a pulse, or it may be a complex signal. Pulse are a complex. In digital communication, we are using pulses. So automatically that pulse consists of many frequencies. So it is a band of frequencies. So all the frequencies will not be attenuated properly, or not be attenuated equally. Okay, high frequencies are attenuated more, and the lower frequencies are attenuated lesser. Similarly, velocity, because of this velocity is a function of frequency, higher as the frequency increases, they travel fast, and the lower frequency signal travel slow. Because of all these problems, there is a distortion over the transmission lines that we studied in the previous class. So in the distortion we studied like there are waveform distortion, two type of distortion we came across: frequency distortion and delay distortion. Okay, this frequency distortion, as is alpha is a function of frequency. We studied it like I have given explanation here. So all the frequency content will not be attenuated equally. Higher frequency attenuated more, low frequency contents attenuated lesser. Because of that, there is a change in the shape of the pulse by the time it reaches at the destination or at the end point. Similarly, delay is also not same, because it is a velocity is a function of frequency. As the frequency increases, velocity of the signal increases. So higher frequency signals travel faster. That is low frequency content travel slower. Because of that, again there is a distortion. Dispersion takes place on the line. That leads to the change in the shape of the pulse, as we studied here like this. This is a change in the shape of the pulse. So this is actually what we are transmitting here. But because of high frequency and low frequencies are not evenly attenuated or delayed, the sharp edges of this pulse will be spread like this to the next bit position. So like this, this may leads to the misleading of zeros and ones in our digital communication. So like successive ones, for example, if there is one ones are there, so two one ones, it may spread to the next zero position like this. So the signal may be like this: received one. Okay, after passing through the channel itself is also a transmission line. Channel, it may be a wireless channel, that is also a a transmission line. As we know, channel models, I think we will be studying those things in the wireless communication. Channels are also transmission lines. They exhibit different properties. Okay, so that is this is because of that problem arises. So that is we studied in the previous class. Okay, and also we studied how to overcome that distortion over a transmission line. That one of the solution what we studied is a distortionless line. To make a distortionless line, that means alpha and beta, alpha and velocity should be independent of frequency. This alpha must be independent of frequency, and velocity also must be independent of frequency. Then all the frequencies will be attenuated equally. Okay, then there is no problem. Even all frequencies attenuated, no problem. Okay, and all frequencies delayed with the same value, then also no problem. Okay, so like alpha must be made independent of frequency, also velocity should be made independent of frequency, then we will be getting the distortionless line. Okay, so to achieve that we derived a condition in the previous class, that is alpha. Okay, here okay, in the distortionless line, alpha equal to this okay, to make it independent of frequency we took a condition like this. This is the this argument equal to this, and we come to we after substitution we left with alpha is equal to square root of rg. This is independent of frequency, so all the frequency contents will be attenuated by a equal value, so that is a no problem. And similarly, what we got beta becomes a direct function of frequency. This is for distortionless line, again by applying the same condition, and velocity become independent of frequency, that we got in the previous class. Okay, so this leads to the condition L by C is equal to R by G. See, substituting this condition, that we got a distortionless line. That means alpha and velocity become independent of frequency. So if you simplify this, we will be getting this. Okay, this is the final condition for a distortionless line. Okay, LG must be equal to CR on a transmission line. But in most of our applications, LG is not equal to CR. It may be greater, or it may be greater or something. It may be less. Okay, or it may be something like that. So to get a distortionless line, what we have to do, we should make this product of so they will be specifying what are the values of LCGR of a particular transmission line. Next, what we have to do, you should take a product of this and this. If they are not equal, you should make equal by adding some extra values of this, either L, G, C, R, any of these components. For example, this is lesser compared to this. What we can do, we can either increase L or decrease increase L or increase the conductance. Any one of this you can do. Either increase L or G also we can increase. Okay, total this product should become equal to this. Okay, so that way we can by adding extra thing components, lumped components, we can increase or we can make this equal. Okay, so now we will see one example here. There is an example. Hello, is it audible? Hello, is it audible?
Audible.
Audible. Okay. Okay, so this example you see here, the extracted RLCG values of a 10 mm length microstrip transmission line are R is equal to resistance. So they have measured, okay, the extracted values are 135.3 ohm per centimeter, and capacitor is 1.22 picofarad per centimeter. L is 5.34 e to the power minus 3 microhenry per centimeter. Okay, and conductance is equal to 0. So the question is, verify whether the line is distortionless or not. Okay, if not, provide a solution. Okay, verify whether the line is distortionless or not. if it is not a distortionless line, provide a solution. The question is like this. This question may ask for 8 marks in the examination. It may ask for 6, sometimes 7 also. It was appeared, I think, in the earlier examination. It was asked for 7 marks, I think. Okay, you can easily do this. Okay, so they will be providing like extracted RLCG values of a 10 mm length microstrip transmission. 10 mm means what? How many centimeters? It is 1 centimeter. The interconnect is of 1 centimeter length. There is a transmission line. It is an interconnector connecting to one component to another component. What is the length of that? It is given. Overall length of that interconnect is a 10 mm. 10 mm means 1 centimeter. Okay, and what are the parameters, line parameters exhibiting by that transmission line? It is exhibits a resistance of 135.3 ohms per centimeter. Okay, similarly capacitor per centimeter they have given here. Okay, the length of the line is 1 centimeter. Okay, these are the values given. Okay, so now you should check, verify whether the line is distortionless or not. So you do this. Lg is equal to Cr. Lg is equal to Cr. So from this you come to know it is we take a values R, C, L and G. It is a distortionless. It is not a distortionless line because Lg is not equal to Cr. Is correct. Lg is not equal to Cr. So it is not a distortionless line. So what is next you have to do? You should make this equal to this. Okay. So what? How can we do that? See, this is one of the solution. What we are, either you can increase the value of L, but G is made it. J is given. It is a 0 here. Okay. So I am increasing the value of this G. Okay. So to this G you add a external G conductance, extra conductance, G plus G external. Okay, this is a shunt. We are connecting a shunt conductance. Is correct. This is a conductance. Conductance we are connecting like this. G plus G. This is given G, but G is 0. They have given. Okay, but what we have to do? We are adding extra external conductance. That is like this. What is G? It is 1 over R resistance, shunt resistance. This is the shunt resistance, not a series resistance. Shunt resistance. Okay. This shunt resistance they were given infinity. G 0 means it is infinity automatically. Okay, so what we do to this conductance, it is 0, we added external resistance like this, that whatever available it is not shown. This is the extra resistance what we are adding, that is external resistance. To along with this G we added this G. Okay, so this G plus G external, that is a shunt total, this conductance. Okay, this we writing, this is external, to this we added this. Okay, it is equal to Cr. Okay, now this is given, this is external what we have, shunt it is equal to, so it is given is a 0 here, you leave it, write only external how much we have to add. See, okay, G total here. Okay, so this is L value, it is L value is here. Okay, equal to this here. So you get value, what value should be the value of external resistance you should add to make this right hand side, left hand side equal to right hand side equal to left hand side. Okay, so G shunt means it is a, you can write it as 1 over R shunt. Okay, G shunt you can write it as like this. So this is equal to this. Okay, now if you do this simplification, R shunt total, it is equal to 32.35 ohm per centimeter. Per centimeter, how much we have to add? 32.35 ohms per centimeter we have to add this resistance, external resistance. Okay, like this. Okay, over a 1 centimeter, 1 per centimeter you should add this 32.35 centimeter. Okay, but instead of connecting at a 1 centimeter, the resistance value equal to 32.35. What we will be doing, this is for example, take this is a 1 centimeter line, this is 1 centimeter line. Okay, this is a 1 centimeter line. Because to make it a distributed one, to make it distributed one, okay, otherwise it may look like a lumped one. To avoid that, to make it a distributed one, what we can do, shunt resistance we are adding, because this is a shunt conductance, that is a 1 over resistance, so we are adding shunt resistance like this. And this is 1 centimeter line what we have. Okay, interconnect maybe in the order of 1 centimeter at high frequency. Okay, so here you see this one what they instead of connecting one resistance with a value equal to 32.35, instead of connecting one shunt resistance with a 32.35 ohms per centimeter, what we can do, we can divide this line, 1 centimeter line, into like this 1 mm 1 mm 1 mm, like that 10, you can write here 10 parts we can do. 1 mm length line, okay, you divide the 1 centimeter line into 1 mm 10 lines. See, 0.5 here, after this 0.5 you connect a resistance here. Okay, its value we will see, I will tell you. So this is the one, like a 10 you connect a number of resistors n, here is equal to 10 mm line. Okay, you can calculate here, it is a 10 here. Okay, 10 resistors we are connecting like this. Okay, at every 1 mm 1 mm after 0.5 mm one resistor connected, that is 324 ohms, instead of 24, instead of 32.35 it is 32.4, 32.35 is written as 32.4. okay, so we are using 10 resistors instead of a one resistor of 32. Okay, so parallelly we are connecting like this. You see here, this is one resistor, it is connected at a distance of 0.5 mm. Next, after 1 mm you connect a one more resistance, same value, 324 mm here, sorry, no, 324 ohm, 324 ohm, like the 10. Okay, 10 resistors you connect like this, they are all in parallel, 10 resistors are in parallel over a 1 centimeter length. Okay, so 10 resistors in parallel with each with the value of 324, so total resistance becomes 32 ohm. Okay, instead of connecting a single resistance of 32.35, what we can do, we can distribute the resistance, this resistance over the length of the line. The length of the line is 1 centimeter here, so to every 1 mm length connect a resistors like this. Okay, like a 10 resistors instead of connecting one resistance of 32. Okay, and but each value becomes, because total must be 32.35, there are 10 resistors are there, because they are kept in parallel combination here. Okay, with the value 324. Okay, then parallel combination of resistors with the 10 values, this overall resistance becomes 32.4. okay, like this. So we can distribute and we can do like this. So this is the external resistance we added to the line to increase the to get a conductance value, this G. Okay, see like this. So that is R shunt, this is 1 by G, 1 by G gives a value of the R, 1 by R shunt gives the value of G. By using this, so you will be getting LG is equal to CR. This is the external resistance what we have to add in parallel like this. Okay, instead of adding one resistance, what we did, we divide this into 10 parallel resistors. Okay, at every 1 mm we connect a resistor, but each resistor value is 325, because we have taken 10 resistors. Automatically this becomes 10 times of this. So total resistance, the parallel combination of all these 324 in parallel with this, in parallel with this, like this. If you do that, finally we will be getting 32.35 if you are looking in this direction. Okay, that's why overall net resistance is 32, but individual resistance values are 324. So this external resistance added here like this to the transmission line. So this is a 1 mm 1 centimeter line. Okay, now we added external resistance like this. By adding this external resistance, shunt resistance, we got this Lg is equal to Cr. Okay, so this is an example for how to make this be a distortion-less line. Actually, this is a practical problem. This is a problem in one of the paper. They have done this. Okay, so this is in a microstrip technology. They have implemented this. This resistance 324 ohm is there. This can be easily implemented in chip technology. This chip technology, it can be implemented using some resistive material. It can be easily implemented. That's why they have done like this. Okay, so every 1 mm they made a resistance of 324 ohm. Okay, so like that 10 they have connected. It looks like almost distributed over a given transmission line. Okay, so it is the way of doing. Similarly, we can do for L also, increase the value of L also. But here is G is 0. That's why they added here is by adding conductance. See, resistance like this, it attenuates the low frequency contents. Resistance, the low frequency content will be attenuated more compared with the high frequency contents. This is opposite to the line characteristic property, because you see high frequency contents attenuate more, low frequency content attenuate lesser, as you know in the transmission lines. So by adding like this resistors, what happens, high frequency contents attenuate, low frequency contents are attenuated more by this resistor. Okay, automatically this is opposite to the characteristic of this transmission line. Okay, that's why. Otherwise, what happens if you increase the value of inductor, see, instead of G, if you take L, if a L increases, then what happens here, high frequency contents again will be attenuated more. That is a problem. That's why they added they increased the conductance here. Okay, so this is a way we can do here. Okay, this is one of the example. Similarly, we can the examination you can try for other either by checking either whether this one or this one. Okay, CR is not matched. Okay, I will give you some assignment. You solve some assignments, then you will come to know. Okay, which parameter is easy to add in the network. Shunt resistor added here. You can add an inductor also in series. Okay, or resistance, usually resistance are not added in series because increases the attenuation. Okay, that's why. Okay, so this is one problem. Okay, the next other problems we will see in the till now we have studied we have studied a lot of theory, and we will see some problems associated with that theory. Hello, is it audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so this Z naught, you see here, Z naught alpha beta for distributed distortionless line. We did distortionless line conditioning, Lg is equal to Cr. So for a distortionless line, the characteristic impedance Z naught is given by, it is Z naught equal to root of L by C only. Okay, you can observe here, it becomes only root of L by C, root of L by C, that you can show here. See, Z naught is equal to this. This is a one. Now you take here R and C outside in this one. L in the numerator and C in the denominator. This is the equation here. And we know this G by C and R by L. So rearranging this G by C is equal to R by L. G by C is equal to R by L. If you substitute here, this will be cancelled. Remaining is Z naught. So for a distortion-less line, characteristic impedance is simply root of L by C. Okay, if you know the value of L and C, you can calculate the value of Z naught. Okay, similarly propagation constant also. Propagation constant is simply, this is the one. Okay, omega root of LC, and this is alpha plus j beta. Propagation constant is alpha plus j beta. Alpha is given by this and beta is given by this. So you can, for a distortion-less line, we can easily find Z naught and alpha propagation constant. Okay, some examples are here. In the examinations, usually problem also may come in the examination problems. Okay, so that is, for example, like this: a transmission line operating at a 500 megahertz has Z naught equal to 80 ohm, alpha equal to 0.04 Napier per meter, beta is 1.5 radian per meter. Find the line parameters RLCG. Okay, they are given alpha, beta and beta. What are the values of RLCG? Okay, so that is, I have not done this. You try, okay, these values. And next problem, similarly you can do this. Okay, next problem is a distortion less has Z naught equal to 60 ohm, alpha equal to 20 milli Napier per meter, and velocity is equal to 0.6 times velocity of the light, where C is the speed of light in a vacuum. Find RLCG and lambda at 100 megahertz. Okay, so now see, to obtain what is there are RLCG, what are the given parameters? Z naught is given, alpha is given, and velocity of the wave is given, V. Here velocity of the wave, it is 0.6 times velocity of light. They are not given directly. See, velocity, the velocity of the wave may not be the velocity of light always. See here, the signal is traveling here over the line. Signal travels over the line. The velocity of the wave is not same as the velocity of light. Okay, wave travels with a velocity that is given by this equation. Okay, it is not as the velocity of the light. Okay, in free space the waves travel with the velocity of light. See, electromagnetic waves, if you take a electromagnetic waves, they travel with the velocity of light in the free space. But over any transmission line like this, it may be coaxial cable, two-wire line or microstrip line, the velocity is lesser than the velocity of light. Okay, so V is actually it is a velocity in free space divided by permittivity of the media that we have to take here. Okay, so velocity is not same. That's why here in the problem, what is given? Velocity of the wave is 0.6 times velocity of the light. Okay. So now what is needed is only alpha and velocity is given. You should find out RLC or a distortionless line. One more condition is distortionless line. Okay, RC is equal to GL, that we know that for this line, distortionless line. If you rearrange, G is equal to RC by L. What is Z naught then? Z naught is equal to root of L by C, that we saw here, root of L by C from this. Okay, we derived. It is only root of L by C. G is equal to RC by L. Okay, now what is the alpha here? Alpha we have is given, it is given, alpha is given in the problem, Z naught is given. What is alpha for a distortionless line? it is root of rg. Okay, what is g here? G is cr by l. You substitute that cr by l here. G is equal to cr by l, then r square c divided by l. Okay, so what we r square is there, I take a r outside, so alpha is equal to what? R into square root of l by c. What is square root of c by l? Sorry, what is square root of c by l? It is equal to 1 by z naught. Okay, because it is l by c, square root of l by c, but we have here square root of c by l. So it is a z naught here. Okay, r by z naught, alpha equal to r by z naught. So from this equation, r is equal to alpha into z naught. Okay, we will be getting the value of r, that is 1.2 ohm per meter. Okay, so from this from z naught and alpha we can get the value of resistance using this. Okay, next L value, we will see get the value of R here. Got it. Next, from this equation we know velocity of the velocity is given by 1 by root of LC. For a distortionless line, again distortionless line, we derived that V is equal to 1 by root of LC. So V is equal to 1 by root of LC, and Z naught is equal to root of L by C. So if you do Z naught by V, see this this Z naught by V. Okay, I made a mistake here, this equation. Okay, you take divide this okay, Z naught by V you do. Z naught is this, and V is 1 by root of LC. You substitute here. Okay, we will be getting the value of L. Okay, what we will be getting if you do this? V is 1 by root of LC. Okay, this is equal to this. L is equal to Z naught into Z naught divided by V. So what is V here? V is given 0.6 times C. 0.6 times C means it is velocity of light, 3 into 10 to the power 8. 60 is a Z naught. So we will be getting, so Z naught by V is equal to L, because if you take these two product, it becomes L square, CC cancels, square root of L square, that is equal to L. Okay, so this is a 1 here. So now it is 333 nanohenry per meter inductor. Okay, so R value got under L value. Similarly, G value, G is from this equation. Okay, so alpha square by R, it is alpha square by R. G is equal to alpha square by R from this equation. Take a square of this. Okay, this equation we already got a value of R. Okay, so it is alpha square by R equal to G from this equation. Substituting, we will be getting the value of G. This is the value of G. And what is next? C. Okay, R, L and G over. Next is capacitor. Capacitance is given by V naught into Z naught. Instead of C here, Z naught by V gives the L. If you take a product of velocity and Z naught, gives the 1 by C. You take product of these two. What happens here? If you do this, L cancels. Okay, 1 by C square, 1 by square root of 1 by C square, Z naught into V. If you do 1 by square root of 1 by C square, we will be getting, so square root of 1 by C here. So V naught into Z, V is given, we put a C value is equal to this. C is equal to 1 by V into Z naught. V is 0.6, Z naught is a 60 here, we will be getting this value. Okay, so that is a C here. So like this, just rearranging the here parameters. Okay, just by rearranging parameters, we will be getting RLCG values here. Okay, Similarly, and ask what is under lambda at 100 megahertz. What is the wavelength at 100 megahertz? It has to find. What is that here? V by f, lambda equal to V by f. What is V? V is given on the transmission line. It is 0.6 times C. So we do this and divide by f 10 to the power 8. It is 1.8 meter lambda on the transmission line. Wavelength on the transmission line is different from the wavelength in the free space. Okay, so free space wavelength is different from wavelength on the transmission line. It is also called as guide wavelength because signals are traveling over the transmission guide wavelength. This is guiding the signal, okay, not a free space. Signal is guided by this wire. So the wavelength over this line is different from the free space wavelength. Okay, so that is here written in the, okay, that is a problem here. Similarly here this is Z0 is given, alpha is given, you can easily find out RLCG. Okay, same equation. It is you can find the values, these values, verify this afterwards. Okay, similar to this, just substitutions are there, simplification, simplify, substitute and simplify, you will be getting the values. These are the values here. Okay, you all of you must try this. Try to get the values similar to here. So here is a direct substitution, alpha value substituted, Z0 is substituted, get a value here. It is given in Napier, alpha is given in, alpha is Napier per meter here, whatever is alpha is given. Napiers, milli Napiers per meter. Milli means 10 to the power minus 3 you should take here. Here you see minus 3. 10 to the power minus 3 milli Napier per meter. See, if alpha is given in dB, you should convert that into Napier in substitution here. Whatever you are doing alpha in the problem, all problems, whatever alpha is there, that must be in Napier per meter or it may be a centimeter, okay, or mm, but it must be in Napier. Okay, don't put a alpha in dB. See, for example, it is given alpha equal to 20 dB per meter. For example, if the in the problem it is given like that, okay, 20 dB per meter, then you cannot put here. You should convert that to dB to Napier. Then you substitute here in this equation. Okay, while doing problem you should be careful about that. Alpha is given in dB, you should convert that into Napier, then you substitute in this equation to get the corresponding values. Okay, so that is this kind of problem may come in the examination. Okay, other problem, the problem may be like this. You see here, a certain transmission line operating at a certain transmission line operating at radians per second has omega is given instead of frequency. Okay, alpha is 8 dB per meter. You see here, alpha given in terms of dB, beta is 1 radian per meter, and Z0 equal to this, and is a 2 meter long. The transmission line is 2 meter long. If the line is connected to a source of voltage source, okay, equal to 10 volts at an angle of 0 degree, and source impedance is there, that is 40 ohm. Impedance of the source is a 40 ohm, and terminated by a load of 20 plus j 50 ohm. Okay, determine the input impedance and the sending end current. Input impedance and the sending end current. Okay, see, this is a transmission line is given, and a source is connected to the transmission line. Okay, the load is there. This is a load 20 plus j 50 ohm load. Okay, load here. This load is given here. This is connected to the source. This is a source here. Source frequency is given. It is 10 to the power 6 radian per second. Okay, frequency is not given directly. It is given in terms of omega 2 pi f. Okay, to get a frequency you should divide this by 2 pi. Okay, so that is given frequency, and the amplitude of the signal is given 10 volts. Okay, and it's a zero phase, this signal, and the source has a resistance Zg, that is 40 ohm. This is a 40 ohm here. Okay, now the question is, what you have to do, you should determine the input impedance. See, looking, this is the input of the transmission line. Looking here, what is the input impedance here, what is the input impedance? Looking in this direction, what is the impedance that is needed here? Okay, and the sending end current, what is the current here? What is the current here? Okay, so you see here, it is not like a, as I said, low frequency. See, looking into this way, ZL is connected. Don't keep it is equal to ZL. If you see like this, if you treat this as a simple short circuit, if you look this direction, the impedance connected is ZL. So what we will be thinking, ZN is equal to ZL. Okay, that is wrong. You should not do like that, because it is a transmission line here. Okay, this is represented by a combination of RLCG. Because of that, see, if you look this direction, the impedance is not equal to ZL. We should take all the parameters present here, whatever it represents. Okay, that's why impedance looking this direction, that is the expected one, input impedance looking this direction, it is not equal to ZL. So we have to find out that. So to find out that, what we have to do, we should go for impedance equation. Okay, like a current is also asked here, sending end current, and impedance. Okay, so that impedance is a function of distance. As you know, impedance is a function of distance. So from the load point, as you move like this at a 2 meter, because source is at 2 meter, so at 2 meter, what is the impedance that we should calculate? Okay, what is the impedance at a distance of 2 meter from the load? See, that equation we derived in the previous class. This is the equation, Z of x. Okay, input impedance, it is a function of distance. You see, d, tan hyperbolic gamma d. Z of x is a function of distance. This d is measured from the load point. D is measured from load point here. Okay, so what is asked here, what is the impedance at the input side? Input means at a distance of 2 meter from the load. This is load, input is there at a distance of 2 meter from the load. So what is D then? D is the 2 meter. So at 2 meter, what is the impedance? So you take this equation, this is the equation. What you have to do, you should find a impedance here. At what D is here, this is D, ZD, that is the input impedance. At what distance? It is D is, okay, it is a 2 meter. So you put a D is equal to 2 meter in this equation. ZL value, Z0 value given in the problem. Okay, Z0 is given. Okay, it is 60 plus J40 ohm. Z0 is given. Okay, and ZL is given, that is this value. Z0 is given, ZL is given, D is given. Substitute all the parameters in this equation. You will be getting what is the impedance at a D, that is at a 2 meter input impedance here. Okay, as I said, it is not equal to this because it is a distributed, consists of a distributed elements L, C, G and R. Because of that, impedance looking in this direction is given by this equation. So now substituting a D value, that is at what distance we are measuring the impedance, and given Z0, ZL, we will be getting the value of Z of x. Okay. So what is this value? Gamma you should know here, because D, okay, 2 meter, Z0 is resonant, but what is gamma here? Gamma you should find out. What is that? Alpha plus J beta. Alpha plus J beta. What is alpha? What is beta? It is alpha given and beta given. Beta is there, directly you can substitute 1 radian per meter, but alpha in dB should be converted into Napier. Okay. See, usually 1 Napier equal to 8.68 dB. It is a standard here. 1 Napier equal to 8.86 dB. So, if 8 dB is there, how many Napiers? You find out that. Okay. This is the one what we have. So, it is equal to 0.92 Napier per meter. See, for 8.68 dB, 1 Napier. Okay, if 8 dB is there, how many Napiers? It is equal to this. Okay, you got it now. 8 for 8.686, 1 Napier here, 1 Napier. Okay, if 8 dB is there, how many Napiers? Multiply with the 8. So this is the one to get a Napier per meter. Okay, this is standard. 1 Napier, this we know. If you do convert this into decibel, 1 Napier to dB, you will be getting this dB. 1 Napier equal to 8.86 dB. Okay, so for 8.68 dB, 1 Napier, then how many Napiers per 8 dB? So this is a 1 to get the value, 0.926 Napier per meter alpha. So put that here, and this beta it's given in radian per meter. So you will be getting gamma. That gamma d, because instead of multiplying here, you do the multiplication here itself. At what distance you are measuring? 2 meter. 2 meter. This is a gamma here. Okay, gamma d will be getting. This is a value. Now put that here. Tan hyperbolic gamma d. Okay, see here. So that if you simplify, do this yourself. Tan hyperbolic gamma d, you will be getting this value. Try, all of you try. Hyperbolic function, I think it's in calculator. You can find in the calculator, it is there. Okay, you try this. You will be getting this. Substitute gamma d here. Take a hyperbolic function in your calculator and see whether you will be getting this or not. Check, all of you. Okay, so this is the one here. So now here tan of hyperbolic gamma d is this one, you substitute that, and z0 is given, zl is given here, tan hyperbolic this one here. So simplify this. Okay, we will be getting zn equal to this. So what is a zn looking this direction? It is given by this equation. It is not equal to this zl. Okay, once we look this direction, it looks like there is a impedance connected between here at the looking this direction is equal to this value. Okay, so this is Zn. If they ask Zn, you have to do like that. We take this equation and get a value. Similarly, what is the sending end current here? Sending end current, that is current entering the transmission line. Current enters the transmission line here. Okay, so there is a impedance here. Here this entire this one can be replaced by a impedance equal to Zn. Is correct, because looking this direction, impedance this entire looks like there is a impedance equal to this value. Okay, so this terminal here we can replace this entire by a impedance equal to this. Then the circuit becomes here Zg and Zin here, Zg connected in series with the Zin, that is with the source here, because this entire is replaced by this Zin. Okay, so Zg here connected here Zin, so it is a Zg in series with the Zin. What is asked? What is a current here? Okay, current drawn by the flowing. You find a current here. Current is given by impedance here, Zg plus impedance across this, that is Zin here. So Vg divided by Zin plus Zg gives the current here. You see, this is a current. Current is given by this equation. Understood now here? What is Zg here? It is not Vg divided by Zg plus Zl. You cannot take like that, because this including transmission line and Zl, this entire is replaced by a impedance that is equal to Zn. So this is replaced by Zin. So the network become Zg and impedance here Zg plus Zin. Okay, so current here is given by Vg divided by impedance here. So this is a one, that is a input current to the transmission line. Okay, so this is like that you can find out the current at this position. Okay, this is one of the question maybe like 8 marks question, maybe 8 mark question. So you should write this figure. See, this is very important. Simply don't write like these things. There is no meaning if you write like this simply. Okay, only I am doing hello, is it audible? Hello, audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this question may carry 8 marks. So what will usually you should write this figure. It is very important because otherwise, see, if you simply write Zin, who will come to know what is Zin? You should write the figure and indicate here is a Zin. Okay, and what is the current here? So this figure is also very important. Without writing this figure, no meaning if you write all these things. So in the examination, you must be careful about all this figure. Okay, given a given problem, first you represent graphically. This is a graphical representation of this statement. This is a question here. Okay, that is converted into graphical way like this. Is correct? This is given. What is there? Source is there. So you should show the source graphically. It has a impedance and connected to the ZL through a transmission line. This is a graphical representation of what is given here. This is a problem. Okay, that should be stated graphically. Then to the evaluator it is easy, and also they will come to know you understood the problem. Okay, first given problem must be understood by yourself. Okay, then you take up the solution for that. Okay, if you write this figure, automatically they will come to know you know the problem, you know the solution for the problem. Okay, so that's it. So this is it is very important while doing problems. Okay, this kind of problem may come in the examination. Another okay. Similarly, this is another example. Okay, similar problem, similar kind of problem. You try to do this problem. I will give you the PPT and also that book also. One of your friend asked me to give a book. Okay, I will send you the book also today, and also the PPT. All of you go through the PPT and that book. Okay, till today's class. Okay, so this is about this problems in the examination. They may appear in the examination. So one of the problem may be for the distortionless line and solution for that, and line parameters calculations may be like this. Direct or indirect way they may ask you to do the calculations for this RLCG. Another kind of problems may like this. What is the impedance at a different positions over the line? Input impedance, like these questions may come in the examination. Okay, there are but there are less solved problems are there in the textbook what we are giving. Okay, you should do yourselves. I will give you some assignments, you try to solve those assignments, automatically you will come to. So here is a main in this transmission line theory. Okay, main is complex numbers. You should be able to you should do the problems. Okay, and you will do correct only if you know the complex mathematics, complex number mathematics, like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication of complex numbers. It is very very important for this course. So okay, in the entire course there is a complex number multiplication or mathematics is there. So all of you should practice how to do the multiplication of this complex number, addition of complex number, subtraction, or it may be a division. Okay, so division of complex number, addition, multiplication, that you must be thorough. Okay, then it easily you can do that in the examination also. So practice is needed from your side to solve the problems. Okay, So all of you do. I will give you the material, textbook, and also problems, solved problems. Also, I will give you some other solved problems. Okay, you also practice yourself. Okay, so this is regarding the problems may appear in the examination. This kind of different types. Okay. Okay. So in the next class we will see remaining. Okay, we will see the next. Okay, Kavya is present. Hello, Kavya.